G'day. In this video I want to talk about our Elite VAV controller. This is a program that we've developed for the EasyIO FW-8-V controller. Just log in, show you what I mean. A bit different from the default program. We've given it a name. This is the application name. We have this status, which can tell you what's going on. So we have a block for our occupancy light. We use the Distech override sensor, which has a push button and a LED. We use the push button to enable the after hours, which you can see here. We also use the LED light to offer feedback to the users and to the techs walking around the floor so they can quickly see which VAVs are having some difficulty. So if the actuator fails its range, this is an extension of our auto stroking block, which we've made a video for. If the airflow is too low, if it's below a minimum set point, it will also generate an alarm, discharge temp fault, and zone temp fault, or no comms with the AHU will generate a fault. This fault represents itself on the sensor as an SOS, so 3 flashes, 3 blinks, 3 flashes, to advise, or at least to show people who know what they're looking for, that that's the VAV that is having difficulty. Also the HPT fault also contributes to that fault. You can change the set point from here, the zone set point. You can also change the min and max flow set points, as well as see other things that the tech would want to see from an overview perspective when you're commissioning the VAV. Are the temperatures okay? Is it communicating? Are the temperature sensors okay, which I think I've said already? Is it controlling what's our damper position, the demand and the feedback? This program requires a discharge sensor, which is the temperature sensor installed after the heater. It also requires the feedback to be wired in so that we can test the functionality of that actuator. We have a block called our daily test, which I believe there's also a video for, that once a day will force the actuator to restroke, exercising the damper and also confirming the operational range of the actuator. If it's or if the range isn't wide enough as preset in the block, then it will generate this alarm. We have a look at the flow settings page. This is where the flow balancing guys will come. This is the actuator. You can change the rotation of the actuator from here. You can see what its position is from a raw perspective, as well as its minimum and maximum positions as found during the stroke test, what the actuator is currently doing and how long it has to go. So if you click the stroking, it will change from standby to stroking and go to predetermined stroking time and count down to 0. It will then reset to stroke the other way. That way you can see what's going on. If the actuator is not driving or if your feedback's not changing as expected, you can cancel the stroking, make your changes and retest the actuator. So the balancing guys may want to force to max flow or maybe force it open, which you can do from here. It changes our feedback, which propagates through all of the dashboard. This says force open override. And if we go back to the main page, if they forget to put it back to auto, you're having troubles, come back to this page and see that it's been left in override. Easily go back to the page, return that to auto. Over here, the flow calibration, this is where they'll enter their values. So if they read a flow of 1100 litres, they, in the max flow, put in 1100, and that's how you calibrate the flow sensor. If they wanted to, they could also set that to minimum flow and set the min flow point, providing a 3-point calibration at 0, min flow and max flow. If they've buggered it up, or if this is a new install, just reset the calibration. It'll force these points back to 0, allowing you a clean slate and just providing a straight pass through of the flow readings. We also give a description on how the box behaves and how the box will handle its min flow, what the guys should do to calibrate the box for the best performance. We also allow electronic duct heater test from here. With this, because we have minimum flow safeties inside the VAV, this will override those safeties in the VAV for a 60-minute period. So click on the Start Heater Test. Again, this is what the commissioning guys will do. It sets the test for 60 minutes. So they set the test. If the test fails, they can reset the HPT, reset the test, do it again. It gives them a full 60 minutes of testing of the heater to make it so that the VAV controller isn't overriding any control of the heater. It also offers a discharge air temp feedback, so you can see if the heater is actually working without having to put your tongue on it or measure the amperage from the heater bank. This is for electronic duct heaters. It would probably work from a heating coil perspective. It would depend on how you wired it and how you programmed it, but this program is specifically for electric duct heaters. We also have a configuration page. On this page, you can set whether to use TCOM or not, whether to use BACnet or not. You can rename the application. So if we wanted to call this VAV 2670, change this application name, and it changes through the whole program. The main page. The new name is 6270. That will be on every page. That way you know which VAV you're on. You only have to change it in one place if you're renaming things. Why do stuff twice, right? We're supposed to do the smart thing. Don't forget to save your changes. Just like in CPT, if you don't save and the controller reboots before it has a chance to autosave, your changes will be lost. Set your BACnet ID, your BACnet name, whether you want to use the carbon dioxide control or not. This program comes with CO2 control. If you want to use an outside air temp lockout, so we've got it programmed because we live in the subtropics. If the outside air temperature is greater than 28 degrees Celsius, we won't allow any electric duct heaters to operate over 28 degrees. This is for energy savings, and if it's 28 degrees, it's hot, so you don't need the heaters anyway. This is a global outside air offset point if you want to enable that or disable it. So if it gets above 32 degrees Celsius, you can apply an offset to the set point. If it gets below 10 degrees Celsius, you can also provide an offset, and you can set those values here. This is where you would unlock the kit to allow the program to operate. And again, if it's not licensed, it will come up as unlicensed and red. If it's licensed, it obviously comes up licensed and green. Surprise, surprise. Once it's licensed, you can't change it. So we could enter all zeros in here and go OK. Because it's been successfully licensed, you can't unlicense it once it's been licensed. Don't forget to save your changes. So the whole idea of this was to allow non-controls people to be able to commission the VAV. It's very straightforward. Green is good, red is bad. And even from here, we can see we've left that in override. We give good feedback as to what's happening inside so that you can offer feedback up the chain to your supervisors as required. Just let that get back to auto. Click the Save Changes. Back to our main page. Thank you very much. We offer this program free of charge as part of our kit offering. You'll need an unlock code to allow this software to operate. If you'd like a copy of the software, please send us a request via our contacts page from our website, which I'll leave a link in the description. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of this content, please subscribe to the channel. And until the next video.